Good morning, Linda.
Morning, Paul.
I don't expect there to have been any headway made from our call last week. I know it was very short notice, and that gentleman had I think it was his mother die. So I don't think anything had happened with the estate planner, correct?
Uh, correct. And he's out of town for 2 weeks, so.
I don't remember how long he was out for. Okay, very good. All right, this will be a good one. Hey, Sing, good morning. Sherry, good morning. How's your back, honey?
Not great. Thanks for asking.
Are you taking pills every day or no?
Um, no, I mean, I do take Tylenol. I don't know that it helps or not. And they're always reluctant to give me pain pills. So to be honest with you, a lot of times at night I'll take a half of a gummy, and that at least helps me to sleep at night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay. Good luck.
Thanks.
Torture. So good morning, ladies. So I wanted to share this with you guys as quickly as possible. Not that I know how to talk slow, but since it's a smaller group today, let's see if we can get some interaction to let me know what your thoughts are. You're coming here for a reason. Hold me accountable to making money. Like, this should be getting implemented to make money. If that's not the case, either there's a disconnect in what you're doing on your end, or this just is not the right way that you want to grow your business. And there's nothing wrong with either. I'm looking to help you. I'm going to share very specifics with you on how I believe you can build your board of directors. But even before we get to that point of building your board of directors, just mentally grasping the concept of growing with and through. Growing with and through. So here is a very, very specific example. I don't see her on the call today. She had a very challenging weekend with graduation and a baby shower, but her name is Heather. She comes to our calls. I'm going to share this with you guys. This is exactly how it happened. And every one of you can take this exact example and apply it to your life today with no hesitation. Guaranteed. 100% guarantee, right? It is that simple. So I'm going to draw for you. Remember, I don't talk about wins because I don't like them. It's not that they're bad. I think a win is the equivalent of an award ceremony. A win. I got somebody under contract. Congratulations. Oh, I'm going on a listing appointment. Congratulations. That's a win. To me, I want to know about the victory. The victory is the whole story. You're coming to a coaching environment. Give me the whole story so I can duplicate what you did. Instead of just patting you on the back or feeling crappy about myself because I didn't get somebody under contract, teach me everything you did so that I could apply it. That's exactly what I want to share with you. I will go first, not out of arrogance, nothing, because I want to show you how simple this actually is. Watch this. Her name is Heather. She came from another coaching environment. I don't know if any of you have ever heard of the Girls with Grit. There are three ladies that were phenomenal real estate producers and have now built a very large coaching platform. 25,000 followers, it's exploding, right? Two of them no longer sell real estate, they just do the coaching. That's how busy they got. This woman, Heather, went to their coaching and saw, I believe, Felicia, another speaker, talk about what the pack is and what Paul's doing. This woman, Heather, shows up to a Monday call. Some of you may have been on the first call she came to. I approached her. I said, thank you for volunteering. As I always rudely tell somebody to volunteer, get off mute. Let's have a conversation. She did. We're interacting. I'm like, there's something about this girl. I like her. We're clicking. I'm going to follow up with her after the call. One call. If any of you know me, it is my one call strategy, meaning this: one call a day. One. Can you imagine? I mean, can you imagine if I got access to your cell phone and it only let you make one call today? No matter how hard you tried, no matter how many buttons or numbers you dial, you can't, it won't work. I can only make one call today. Who would that call be to? I want you to think about that. So on this particular Monday, this woman shows up, never met her, don't know her, and I approach her after the coaching call. That's my one call, right? I make a contribution to her life, to her personal life, her professional life, to her business. By the grace of God, I'm able to provide some level of impact, and I call it a contribution to her. She is so enthralled by what it is that I shared with her. She said, I want to keep coming back to your calls. Great. How do you actually make money? I'm a mortgage guy. I don't sound like one. I don't act like one. I'm not going to beg or pander like one. I'm going to contribute to the growth of your business, personally and professionally, like I just have. And I get to feed my family with a buyer. She said, wow, I have one. The next call, she puts me on the line with a buyer. It is a recorded Zoom call with realtor, buyer, Paul. It was a call and an experience she has never had in real estate. The buyer was floored. He never had a call like this in real estate, and he's absolutely in love with what we've got going on. This is his bod, if you will. So we get this guy approved, but it's bigger than that. I'll go into detail if we have enough time today. 4 days after this call, she puts me on the phone with another buyer. Recorded Zoom call, buyer, real estate agent, Paul Conti. I need you to grasp this because this is very applicable to all of you. This buyer was stuck at a purchase limit because of her car payment. She is engaged to be married. She's only doing this purchase in her name. Boyfriend is in between jobs. Fiance's in between jobs. So my suggestion, and I'm summarizing a very long call with you guys, but what I said to her after she was telling me what was going on, and I said, so if you didn't have that very large car payment, you could buy the house you want to buy. She said, yes, but I got 4 more years on this car note. I said, no, you don't. She said, yes, I do. I said, no, you don't. She said, yes, I have 4 more years. I said, I'm going to introduce something to you that car will be gone in 4 weeks. What do you mean? I'm encouraging you, if this makes sense, to have your boyfriend buy the car off of you. What do you mean? I don't understand. When your boyfriend buys the car from you, it comes off your credit report. That $750, $55 payment no longer counts against you. Go on. Go buy the house you want to buy. Her boyfriend's in the background. What if I don't qualify? How about your mom? You told me earlier your mom's willing to give you $10,000 as a gift to help you with the down payment. How about if mom buys the car off of you as her gift? We'll still take the 10 grand, but what if she buys the car off of you? I do the calculation. If mom or your boyfriend buys the car off of you, the payment will be $280. You're now paying $755. Same car. She loved it. The next day, her mom called me. How do I apply for a car loan to buy the car off my daughter? We walked through the whole process. She went to the bank and she applied for the car loan. Realtor, buyer, blown away. Increased commission for the real estate agent, afford the buyer opportunities she never thought of, and now they're like super stoked about this real estate team, if you will. 3 days later, this realtor gives me another buyer. Here's the point that I'm making. Linda, Sherry, Frankie, Cindy, you all can do this. Let's identify. Remember last week I said if you're on the call, remember. If you weren't there, you don't remember. So I'll bring it up again. Here's the thought process. Does it make sense to throw your fish line? I'm a fisherman. I go fishing. Does it make sense to throw your line in a pond where there's no fish? It's almost ridiculous. Like, where's your common sense? And yet many agents continue to complain about the inflation, the inventory, and the interest rates, and not trying to create their own economy. This is an example of, I saw this pond. It sounded like it had a lot of fish in it, and I threw my line there to contribute to Heather's life. Heather now feels an obligation to the partnership because I honored my word. That's a partnership. And I shared things with these buyers she's never heard of, the buyer's never heard of. She's taking a ton of notes. Don't worry. It's a recorded call. We can go back and play it again for training purposes. That's what you're getting here. You all can do the exact same thing. Think about this. Is someone in your town going to get married this month? No, I don't know. Is somebody going to get divorced? You better believe it. Is somebody going to downsize? Is somebody going to relocate? Who has those clients? What pond are you fishing in? So I'm saying this to you because I'm walking, living, breathing proof that the strategy works. But are you working the strategy? That's the question. We get so tied up in the transaction that we don't look to pay attention to the business. I'm going to take a breath before I give you example two. Sherry, I don't know that you and I have spoke at all. If you're interested in volunteering and coming off mute, I would love to hear what your thoughts are about this. Anything, Sherry. You can't come off mute. You're in a meeting. 2 syllables. I have. Okay, Sherry, no problem. Frankie and I have talked before. Linda and I talked before. Margie Vaughn, I don't know you. If you're able to come on video and chit chat for a minute, give me your feedback or your thoughts, please. Sid, you and I have chatted, so I don't want to keep coming after you again. You always volunteer, and I appreciate that. Okay, for the sake of example, let me give you this, because the idea is, let me take one thing that Paulie said and implement it immediately. So who should I be calling? Should I be calling my accountant? High on the priority list. Your accountant knows a divorce attorney. Your accountant knows a financial advisor. Your accountant knows an elder care attorney. He probably does taxes for them. We're not strategizing on creating the partnerships. We're trying to get another buyer or seller. I'm not negating the paycheck. If we get too caught up in chasing the paycheck, we never actually build the corporation. We get lost in the distraction of busy. So I would say to you, in this entire day, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10-hour day that God has given to all of us, what's the one call you're going to make to someone that has your clients? Not to the client, someone that has your clients. I need you to grasp this. Prior to meeting Heather, I never would have had these 3 buyers. Would have never met them. She's in Indiana, I'm in Florida. That never happens. So don't tell me it's geography. Don't come up with any reason. Don't give me the problem to the solution. People immediately want to tell me what's wrong with the solution I'm giving you. Can you do that? The answer is yes. You have somebody in your life that has your client right now. That's who I would be creating the partnership with. That's what I talk about, the board of directors, your bod. How much time did you invest in communicating with your board of directors? Something I'm holding for the training course, but I'll share this with you. Like him or not is immaterial. Pick a side. I don't care about any of that. The guy that created Facebook, Zuckerberg. Does anybody here know, this is an interview that he did, how much time he spends with his board of directors every day? If somebody had to take a guess and you're allowed off mute. Nobody. Damn.
2 hours every day.
Well, probably, I mean, he probably would have spent what, 4 to 8 hours a day with his board of directors. While he was
spends
building?
in a private session with them 3 hours every day. 3 hours. Now, keep in mind, it's a little bit different because these are people that actually work at his company. and they've got a seat at the table. 3 hours every day with the board of directors to grow the corporation. I'm not saying to you, Paul Conti spends 3 hours a day with his accountant. Absolutely not. I do not. Can we spend 30 minutes? Can we spend 3 minutes? Can we make one phone call? Can you make one phone call today to your accountant, financial advisor, estate planner? The list goes on. Photographer, home inspector, contractor, somebody you've given business to. And if you've given business to nobody, then let's just talk about your homeowner's insurance agent. How about your accountant? Think about this. One call to somebody that has your clients. I'm giving you the example. Here's another example from someone right off these coaching calls. You know him. Daryl out of California hires me for private coaching. You know this guy. He's 71 years old. He's in real estate. Here's what he did. I need you to grasp this. He's in California. What did I introduce to him in California? This applies all across the country, but it's pretty big in California, Florida, and other states. It's called an ITIN loan. Individual Taxpayer Identification Number. Gang, I need you to listen carefully to this. This is for someone that's here and cannot get a social security number. So the government gives them an ITIN number and they can work. And I got news for you. They can buy a house with an ITIN number. So I said to Daryl, you're in California, brother. ITINs are prominent out there. So why don't we communicate with your financial advisor, get her on a call. Financial advisor gets on a call. One call. I educate the financial advisor about this. She's like, oh my gosh, I have clients like that. I said, more importantly than your clients, how many other financial advisors do you manage? 13. Great. Bring them all on a Zoom call. Daryl shows up. 13 financial advisors, follow this. 13 financial advisors show up to learn about the ITIN program. They're all bilingual and they all have clients like this. Spanish families, 2, 3 families living in a home, stacking and packing all their cash because they don't understand the banking system, so they don't put their money in the banks. They've got it in the mattress. The call went over wonderfully. This Wednesday, we're doing one more ITIN call for this group. Here is the cover charge. Every financial advisor needs to show up with at least one of their clients that wants to learn more about the ITIN loan. So now these financial advisors are showing up with a buyer. Wait, let's go back. Isn't Daryl a realtor? Yeah. Did Daryl go to networking functions? Did Daryl do Facebook ads? Did Daryl go to social? He went to nothing, folks. He reached out to his financial advisor, said, you need to get on a call with Paul. I educated her about the ITIN program. She was floored, never heard about it. Brings her 13 financial advisors to the next call. And this Wednesday at 3:30, the only way they get to come back is if they bring a buyer. And Daryl Benton will be the financial recipient of that phone call. You all can do the exact same thing, whether you're bilingual or not. Daryl is not bilingual. I am not. I have assistants that are. But my point is, I identify the market. I teach them something they never heard before. They start to bring clients. Daryl would never meet these financial advisors or clients had we not had that one call. So again, going back to me saying this to you, what is the one call you make today to increase the likelihood you're going to get business? The reason I'm forcing you to attempt to possibly kind of interact with me is because it doesn't make sense if you're going to come to this call, listen to what I said, and just go on with your day and do nothing with it. It doesn't make sense. Don't come. My ego's not stroked by the people that are on the call. My ego's stroked when you actually make money. When I said this to you all before, Sherry, thank you for saying that. And that's the truth. Sherry, listen, in my morning prayers, I'm being very open with all of you. My morning prayers, Lord, protect me from myself. Sherry, I understand entirely, right? We allow it to get in here. The reason that you hire a coach is to not fight with yourself. Honestly, think about it. You're going to come up with the problem to my solution. Why would you do that? I'm living, breathing proof of how easy this is. I know you're going to, well, real estate's hard. Real estate's this. Listen, gang, let me make this clear. I'm not going to argue with reality. However, you're in control. You're in control of how you act within that space. So if you want to attest and affirm that real estate is hard, you're going to act in accordance with the thought process. I'm going to say, okay, this is one of the most challenging markets I have, but I love challenges. So how do I get creative with this to come up with an opportunity to continue to thrive while others are getting out of the business or getting part-time jobs, which I don't fault anybody for doing. I'm going to share this one more thing with you. We've got several people right now that I'm coaching. You all should be introducing seller financing. We talked about this before briefly. I just met with Lori, private coaching for an hour. She's going on $1 million listing. The client doesn't need to sell the house to buy another. They already moved on. They've got $1 million property. Lori's going in there to win this. I said, Laura, let's talk to them about private financing. Gang, I need you to understand something, what I'm teaching you right now. I'm cutting myself out of the equation. I do mortgages. I'm teaching your seller how to hold a private note so that you can sell the property. Why would you worry about the interest rates being at 7% when your seller can hold a private note at whatever interest rate they want? 3.5, 4, 4.5. They're in control. You can close it like this. There's no delay. As fast as title comes in, you're done. They're holding a private note. So 3 things I'm doing for you today. I shared this example of one call going after that agent, that pond with fish, making a contribution to her life. She returns the favor because what I said is what I taught. Are you interested and willing to learn how to contribute to my business in the same manner I just contributed to yours? Yes, she clearly is. She's a partner. Next one, Daryl in California, now having a meeting this week with financial advisors and buyers that want to learn more about the ITIN program, and Daryl is the realtor that brought that to them. No brainer. He created his own economy. I created my own economy. Introducing the idea to a seller, to seller-held financing, is another creative way to control your own economy. After I taught this 2 weeks ago, one of the agents then got a seller to hold a note. We have a $400,000 condo in Orlando, Florida, being sold with a $70,000 down payment and a 5% note, and the property is performing. The ROI is wonderful on this particular property. And that was the agent taking the seller financing to sellers. I'm holding open houses every weekend. Nobody's coming through because they can't buy the house at this, but they can buy it at this. Create your own economy. I'm giving you multiple examples of that. Felicia, I'm sorry, you had your yellow hand up. I don't know if she's still with us.
Sorry, I'm I'm getting ready for a broker's open. So also there's a couple of things that Paul's helped me with a couple of my sellers and buyers. The DSCR loans are still going strong right now. We have 2 of them that we're working on together, Paul and I, with folks who are they were on the fence, and we got them off the fence because we showed them the strategy. We showed them what the risk was, what the benefits were. The second thing that Paul's helping me with is what's coming up in July, tomorrow, what opens up, Hometown Heroes.
Yes.
Financial assistance. We are getting so many people off the fence with down payment assistance right now, and it's helped me with a few of my listings. So that is something that is really, really important, along with the seller financing options too. So there are all these programs coming out. Let people know, even if you have listings, even if you're working with seniors, it doesn't matter. Whoever the buyer is who can afford that house is who you need to go after for your avatar. And these programs are huge right now. So thank you, Paul, and your
Thank you.
team for helping.
Oh, thank you, darling. I appreciate that. And gang, by the way, if I may, I would not have been so bold unless Felicia opened the door for me, but the one she's talking about is $1 million purchase for Felicia. $1 million purchase. So that is a very big deal, gang. And that is a DSCR product.
And it's working with for a year and a half.
That's even better right there. Right?
Finally, light. So it does happen.
Yeah, gang. So there are multiple examples today. Now that's 4 examples. Thank you, Felicia, to share with you guys on how to create your own economy. Do not wait for anything to come to you. It will not. It will not. You can create your own economy. You're coming to these calls for a reason. Apply what you're learning. If you want assistance with that, give me a call and I'll help you apply what you're learning. The down payment assistance program she's referencing is for Florida in particular, but we also have one that is nationwide, which is now giving you 5% down payment assistance. If you're buying a $500,000 house, you can get $25,000 for down payment assistance. 5%, gang. A lot of incredible things that we need to be very versed in so that we can create our own economy. Do not rely on the economy, create your own. Any questions or thoughts for me, gang?
What program is that outside of the FHA down payment assistance? What is that?
It's a DP. It's another form of a down payment assistance program. Long and short, they're giving you 5% down. In 3 years, pay it on time, it goes away. If you refinance or sell prior to that, you got to pay it back plus interest. 5%, up to 5% down. So if you're buying FHA and you're getting 5%, you only have to put 3.5% down. It covers everything.
Yeah.
There's a lot of opportunities out there, gang. We just need to explore that a little bit more. So I'm sharing this with you, and thanks to Felicia for sharing the DSCR, because like she said, this is a woman that for a year and a half was on the fence, nervous. She introduced me to her. We had a wonderful call. I reported back to Felicia immediately what the call vibe was. The woman likes it. This helped get her off the fence. She's now under contract. A year and a half. If Felicia starts to look at all the hours and time and phone calls and aggravation, it's like, enough already, buy a house, right? Let's go. And then all of a sudden we introduce the DSCR. We're like, holy smokes, Felicia does a killer job negotiating. They're under contract, $1 million purchase. So we either can complain about the triple I's, interest rates, inflation, and inventory, or we can do the triple P's, pandemic, pivot, profit. You can do this. You're signed up with us. You're coming here to learn all this from all of us. Take it and apply it. This is the one call strategy. What one call are you making today? And if that one call is to me, I will help you. We got nothing? Gang, thank you for attending. God bless you guys. Let's have a great day. Go make some money.
Bye. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, Leash.